The large screen in the United Nations Assembly Hall showed a massive alien ship entering Earth's orbit. The room was silent. Do-hyun Lee stood at the podium, his heart beating fast, but his face calm. As Earth's chosen ambassador, he had trained for this moment for months, but nothing could truly prepare him for humanity's first contact with alien life. The alien ship will dock with the International Space Station in 10 minutes, announced the mission control officer. Do-hyun straightened his blue diplomatic uniform and looked at the other world leaders. They all knew what was at stake. The aliens had first appeared at the edge of the solar system 3 weeks ago. Their message was simple. They were representatives of the Galactic Council, coming to evaluate Earth's civilization. What surprised them was finding human ships already exploring Mars and establishing bases on the Moon. Inside the space station, Captain Kita Park of the Galactic Council walked through the airlock. He looked almost human, except for his silver skin and slightly larger eyes. He stopped and stared at the Earth through a window. "Beautiful planet," he said in perfect English, thanks to his translator. "But we are more interested in those." He pointed to the 3 human warships floating nearby. They were small compared to his vessel, but their design was unlike anything in the Council's database. Do-hyun, who had been brought up to the station, smiled politely. "Those are our defense ships. We call them the Guardian class." Kita's large eyes widened. "You developed these independently, without any outside help?" "Yes. Humans have always dreamed of exploring space. When we realized we weren't alone in the universe, we knew we needed to protect ourselves." The alien admiral walked closer to the window. "Fascinating. Most species wait for first contact before developing space warfare capabilities. Your ships show unusual thinking. Those weapon placements, the engine design, very creative." Do-hyun watched as more council representatives entered the station. They all carried scanning devices, their expressions changing from polite interest to surprise as they analyzed human technology. "Your species is full of surprises, Ambassador Lee," Kita said. "We detected your radio signals only 70 years ago. By our calculations, you should barely have reached your moon. Instead, you have working colonies on Mars and ships that could challenge some of our smaller vessels." A younger council member whispered something to Kita. The admiral's silver face showed concern for a moment. "Is something wrong?" Do-hyun asked. "Not wrong. Unexpected. Your ships use some technologies we've never seen before." "That shouldn't be possible." Kita paused. "The council must decide how to proceed. You understand that we need to evaluate if Earth is ready to join galactic society." Do-hyun nodded, but inside he felt proud. Humans had already surprised them, and this was just the beginning. Back on Earth, the United Defense Force was working on something that would shock the Council even more. Later that day, during the first official meeting, Do-hyun presented Earth's achievements. He showed them the quantum computers that powered their ships, the fusion reactors that gave their cities clean energy, and the AI systems that helped design their space technology. With each presentation, the alien representatives looked more amazed. They had expected to find a young, primitive species. Instead, they found humans had solved problems in ways the Council had never considered. "Your species thinks differently," Kita admitted after the meeting. "Most races follow similar paths of development. But humans, you take unexpected turns. Create solutions no one else imagined." Do-hyun smiled again. "We have a saying on Earth. Necessity is the mother of invention. When we need to solve a problem, we try every possible way until something works." As the first day of contact ended, Kita made an announcement. The Council would establish an embassy on Earth. They wanted to learn more about these surprising humans. What they didn't know was that in a secret facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, engineers Jae-yun Kim and Han-Sol Cho were already working on blueprints for a ship that would change the galaxy forever. Humanity wasn't just ready to join galactic society. They were ready to reshape it. The age of human innovation was about to begin, and the stars would never be the same. Fleet Commander Jae-yun Kim stood before the United Earth Defense Force Council, her presentation ready. The room was deep underground in the Pacific Ocean base, far from any alien sensors. 6 months had passed since first contact, and she knew it was time to show humanity's true plans. Ladies and gentlemen, she began, the Galactic Council thinks they know what humans are capable of. They're wrong. She pressed a button, and a hologram filled the room. It showed a massive ship, bigger than anything humans had built before. Chief Engineer Hansol Cho stepped forward. He was young for his position, only 32, but his eyes showed the confidence of someone who knew exactly what he was doing. "This is Project Dawn," he said, pointing to different parts of the ship. "It's not just a battleship. It's a mobile city in space, a fortress that can travel between stars." One of the council members raised his hand. "The aliens will notice something this big. How do we hide it?" Jae-yun smiled. "We don't. That's the beauty of human nature. We hide things in plain sight." She changed the hologram to show the moon. "We'll build it here," telling the council it's a new colony. They already know we're expanding our space presence. Hansol took over the presentation. He showed detailed plans of new technologies they had developed. "We've created something special," he explained. "The aliens use standard energy shields. Ours are different. We layer them like the scales of a fish. Each layer can move and adjust independently." The council members leaned forward, interested. Hansol continued, "Our weapons are hidden inside what look like regular ship parts. The aliens won't know what they're looking at until it's too late." "And the power source?" another council member asked. Jae-yun pressed another button. The hologram showed a new type of reactor. "This is where we'll really surprise them. We found a way to harness dark energy. The aliens think it's impossible, but we've done it." The room burst into excited whispers. Dark energy technology would give them power that the Galactic Council had never seen before. "How long will it take to build?" the council head asked. 3 years, Hansol answered. "We've already started making the parts in secret factories. We just need your approval to begin full construction." Jae-yun walked around the table. "The aliens think they're teaching us about space travel. But while they show us their old technology, we're creating new ways of doing things. Human ways." She showed more images, crews ready to work, materials already gathered, and hidden factories across Earth, making the parts they would need. "There's more," Hansol added. "The ship's computer systems are unlike anything in the galaxy. We've developed a new type of AI that can think and adapt like a human. It will help run the ship and make decisions faster than any alien computer." The council members talked among themselves. Finally, the head of the council stood up. "Show us the size comparison," he said. Jae-yun changed the hologram one last time. Their Battlestar appeared next to the largest known alien ship. The human ship was 3 times bigger. "The aliens think they're dealing with a young species taking its first steps into space," Jae-yun said. "But humanity has always dreamed of the stars. We've spent centuries thinking about space travel, writing stories about it, imagining what we could do. Now we have the chance to make those dreams real." The council voted. The decision was unanimous. Project Dawn would begin immediately. Later that night, Jae-yun and Hansol stood on the roof of the base, looking at the stars. "Do you think we can do it?" Hansol asked. "Build something this big without them figuring out what it really is." Jae-yun pointed to the moon, barely visible through the clouds. "Humans have always been good at surprising people. We went from our first airplane to landing on the moon in just 66 years. The aliens think they know what we can do." She smiled. "They haven't seen anything yet." In orbit, alien observers watched human ships moving between Earth and the moon. They noted the increased activity, but didn't worry. After all, these were just humans building another colony. Nothing that could threaten the balance of power in the galaxy. They had no idea they were watching the beginning of something that would change everything. Project Director Mireille Kang watched through the reinforced windows of the lunar control room as construction robots moved across the moon's surface. 6 months into Project Dawn, and already the foundation of humanity's greatest achievement was taking shape. The aliens are requesting another inspection, reported lead designer Ta Yang Bin, looking up from his tablet. They're curious about the size of our colony. Mireille nodded calmly. Let them come. Everything they need to see is exactly where it should be. The construction site was massive, covering 10 square kilometers of lunar surface. To any observer, it looked like humans were building a large dome colony. The truth lay in how the pieces would later fit together. Ta Yang had created a brilliant plan. They built the Battlestar in sections that looked like normal colony buildings. When the time came, these sections would connect like giant puzzle pieces, forming the massive ship that would change humanity's future. Alien ship approaching, announced the control room's computer. Mireille straightened her uniform and prepared to meet their visitors. The council representatives arrived in their silver environmental suits. Their leader, an inspector named Ko Jin, moved with the careful steps of someone used to low gravity. This colony seems very large, Ko Jin said through his translator, much larger than your other lunar bases. Mireille smiled. Humans dream big. We plan to house 10,000 people here eventually. They walked through the construction site. Mireille explained each section: living quarters, research facilities, and power stations. All true purposes, but not in the way the aliens thought. These walls are unusually thick, Ko Jin noted, scanning one section. Ta Yang stepped forward. Moon dust is dangerous to humans. We need strong protection. He didn't mention that the thick walls would later become the Battlestar's armor. The inspection continued. The aliens saw it exactly what humans wanted them to see: an ambitious but normal colony project. They didn't notice how each building's power systems could connect to form the ship's engines, or how the research labs would become weapon control centers. Later that day, after the aliens left, Mireille called a meeting with her core team. They're satisfied, she announced. Now we can speed up construction. The room's main screen showed their progress. Green lights marked completed sections, yellow showed work in progress, and red indicated parts not yet started. More than a third of the lights were already green. The modular construction is working better than we hoped, Ta Yang reported. Each section is fully functional on its own. When we connect them, the ship will come together perfectly. A young engineer raised her hand. What about the special materials we're using? Won't they notice? Mireille shook her head. We're mixing them with normal building materials. From the outside, it all looks standard. The aliens don't know we can make metals that change shape or ceramics stronger than steel. The team worked through the night, as they did every night. On Earth, factories ran nonstop, sending up new parts disguised as regular colony supplies. Each rocket launch looked normal to alien observers, but carried pieces of humanity's secret weapon. Near the end of her shift, Mireille stood at the window again. The construction site glowed under powerful lights. Soon, these scattered buildings would become something amazing. Where others saw a colony taking shape, she saw humanity's future reaching for the stars. Status report, she said to the computer. Construction is 37% complete, it responded. All systems are operating within expected parameters. Mireille smiled. The aliens thought they were watching humans build a home on the moon. Instead, they were watching humanity prepare to take its place among the stars. And when Project Dawn was complete, the galaxy would never be the same. In orbit, alien satellites continued their routine scans of the lunar surface, recording what they thought was just another step in human expansion. They had no idea they were documenting the birth of a legend. Security Chief Yoon Ji Choi noticed the problem during a routine sensor check. Someone had tampered with the construction robots on the dark side of the moon. She immediately contacted project manager Dong Hook Nam. We have a security breach, she reported, showing him the data on her screen. 3 robots were reprogrammed last night. If I hadn't caught it, they would have damaged the main engine housing. Dong Hyuk studied the information carefully. The moon base was now halfway complete, and more aliens were paying attention to the project. "Can you trace the source?" he asked. "The signal came from a ship in lunar orbit," Yoonji answered. "It belonged to the Trade Federation. They're worried about how big our colony is getting." The Trade Federation was a powerful group within the Galactic Council. They controlled most space commerce, and they didn't like how quickly humans were advancing. Dong Hyuk called an emergency meeting. The project leaders gathered in the secure conference room deep inside the lunar base. The room's walls blocked all signals, keeping their discussions private. "The Trade Federation is getting suspicious," Dong Hyuk announced. "They tried to sabotage our work. We need to be more careful." "Perhaps we should slow down construction," suggested one team member. "No," Yoonji interrupted. "Slowing down would look more suspicious. We need to continue as planned, but increase security." She showed her new security measures on the main screen. Special shields would now protect the robots from outside signals. Human operators would watch every machine around the clock. "What about the Federation representatives?" another team member asked. "They're requesting another inspection." Dong Hyuk smiled. "Then we'll give them an inspection. Show them exactly what they expect to see. A colony under construction. Nothing more." The next day, Federation inspectors arrived. They wore expensive environmental suits and carried advanced scanning equipment. Their leader, a tall alien named Raltuk, watched the humans with suspicious eyes. "Your colony grows quickly," Raltuk said. "Some council members find this concerning." "We are an efficient species," Dong Hyuk replied politely. "When humans set a goal, we work hard to achieve it." The inspection lasted hours. The Federation team scanned every building, every machine, every power line. But Yoonji had prepared well. All they found were normal colony systems, carefully disguised to hide their true purpose. Later that night, after the aliens left, Yoonji discovered something in her security feeds. The Federation had tried to plant spy devices around the base. "They're getting desperate," she told Dong Hyuk. "They know we're hiding something, but they can't prove it." Dong Hyuk looked out at the construction site through his office window. The massive shape of Project Dawn was clearly visible now, but still looked like separate colony buildings. Only those who knew the truth could see the Battlestar taking shape. "How much longer until we can't hide it anymore?" he asked. Yoonji checked her tablet. 3 months, maybe 4. Once we start connecting the sections, everyone will know what we're building. Then we need to work faster, Dong Hyuk decided. The Trade Federation won't stop trying to interfere. We must finish the ship before they find a way to stop us. As they talked, construction continued. Robots moved across the lunar surface, adding new pieces to humanity's greatest project. In orbit, Federation ships watched closely, trying to understand what the humans were really doing. The race was on. Humans needed to complete their Battlestar before their enemies discovered the truth. The next few months would determine whether Project Dawn would succeed or fail. And somewhere in the darkness of space, more alien ships were heading toward Earth, drawn by rumors of strange human activities on the moon. Dr. Jeho Shin stood in the testing chamber of the lunar base, watching as his team prepared their newest invention. The chamber glowed with blue light from the experimental shield generator. Research Director Hai-Jin Moon monitored the readings from a control panel nearby. "Begin the test," Dr. Shin ordered. The shield generator hummed to life. A protective bubble formed around a small test spacecraft. Unlike normal alien shields, which glowed a solid blue, this one shimmered like water, constantly moving and changing. "Energy levels stable," Hai-Jin reported. "Beginning attack simulation." Laser beams struck the shield from multiple directions. In a normal shield, this would have drained its power quickly, but the human-designed shield adapted, becoming stronger where it was hit. "It works," Dr. Shin said quietly. "Our shield actually gets stronger under attack." The test continued. They fired different weapons at the shield, trying everything the aliens might use. The shield held against all of them. This technology would make their Battlestar nearly impossible to destroy. The AI integration is perfect, Hai-Jin added. The shield thinks and reacts faster than any human operator could. They had created something new, a shield system that worked with artificial intelligence to protect the ship. The AI could predict attacks and strengthen the shield before weapons even hit it. In another part of the base, engineers were testing the Battlestar's other systems. The dark energy reactor worked better than anyone had hoped. It provided more power than 10 alien ships combined. Status report, Dr. Shin called to his team. Weapons systems are ready, one engineer reported. We've hidden them inside what look like normal space sensors. The aliens won't know they're weapons until we use them. Engine tests are successful, another added. The ship will be faster than anything in the galactic fleet. Hai-Jin walked over to Dr. Shin, holding her tablet. The Trade Federation is asking questions about our power readings. They've noticed we're using more energy than a normal colony should need. Dr. Shin nodded. They had expected this. Tell them we're running environmental systems at full power. They know the moon is harsh. They'll believe we need extra energy to survive here. The Federation wasn't their only problem. Their own AI system had detected spy satellites watching the base. Some alien species were getting very nervous about human activities on the moon. We need to move faster, Hai-Jin said. Every day we wait gives them more chances to discover what we're building. Dr. Shin looked through the window of the construction site. The separate parts of their Battlestar were almost ready to join together. Soon, they wouldn't be able to hide it anymore. Show me the latest scans, he asked. Hai-Jin projected a hologram showing the ship's internal systems. Everything was new, created by human minds, thinking in ways the aliens never considered. The ship had backup systems for its backup systems. It could repair itself, adapt to any attack, and learn from every battle. Director Moon, a computer voice announced, we're detecting unusual movement in orbit. 3 Federation science vessels have changed position. They appear to be conducting detailed scans of the base. They're getting closer to the truth, Dr. Shin said. How much longer until all systems are ready? 2 weeks for final testing, Hai-Jin answered. Then we can begin joining the sections. Dr. Shin watched as another test began in the chamber. Humanity had achieved so much in secret, but soon they would have to reveal everything. He hoped the galaxy was ready for what humans could really do. In orbit, the alien ships continued their scans, unaware that they were about to witness the birth of a new era in space warfare. Captain Sun-Woo Kim never expected his first battle command would come while his ship was still incomplete. But as he watched 3 pirate vessels approach the moon, he knew they had no choice. The Battlestar had to fight, ready or not. All sections report status, he ordered from the newly installed bridge. Main weapons at 80%, his weapons officer reported. Shield systems online. Dark energy reactor operating at full power. The pirates had appeared suddenly, jumping out of faster-than-light travel near the lunar base. They were notorious criminals who attacked construction sites for materials and technology. They thought they had found an easy target. They're charging weapons, the sensor officer announced. Enemy ships are spreading out for attack formation. Sun-Woo smiled. The pirates had no idea what they were attacking. From the outside, they saw separate colony buildings. They didn't know these buildings could transform into humanity's most powerful warship. Begin transformation sequence, Sun-Woo commanded. Across the lunar surface, massive sections of the colony began to move. Giant pieces of machinery that looked like normal buildings shifted and connected. The pirates watched in surprise as their target changed before their eyes. Transformation 60% complete, the computer reported. Hull integrity stable. Weapons systems connecting. The pirate ships opened fire. Their energy weapons struck the Battlestar shields, creating beautiful patterns of light. But instead of weakening the shields, Each hit made them stronger, just as the engineers had designed. "Return fire," Sun Wu ordered. "Show them what human technology can do." Hidden weapon ports opened across the Battlestar's hull. The pirates had moments to realize their mistake before the human ship attacked. Advanced targeting systems, guided by the ship's AI, fired with perfect accuracy. The first pirate ship lost its engines to a precise strike. The second tried to escape but found itself caught in the Battlestar's gravity control field, a technology the aliens thought impossible. The third ship turned to run. "Should we pursue?" asked the navigation officer. "No," Sun Wu replied. "Let it go. Let it tell others what it saw here today." As the battle ended, Sun Wu received an urgent message. Trade Federation ships were approaching rapidly, drawn by the combat. They would finally see what humans had been building in secret. "Complete transformation," he ordered. "Let them see us as we really are." The final pieces locked into place. Where separate colony buildings had stood, now floated a massive warship. It was beautiful in its own way, sleek despite its size, powerful yet elegant. The Federation ships arrived to find 2 disabled pirate vessels and Earth's greatest achievement floating above the moon. Their scanners must have been going crazy trying to understand the technology they were seeing. "We are receiving multiple communication requests," reported the communications officer. "The Federation wants answers." "Open a channel," Sun Wu said. "It's time to introduce ourselves properly." He stood straight in his captain's chair as the view screen activated, showing the shocked faces of Federation officials. Behind him, his crew worked efficiently at their stations, proving that humans could operate this advanced ship as if they had been doing it for years. "Greetings," he said calmly. "I am Captain Sun Wu Kim of the Earth Defense Force Battlestar Dawn. We appreciate your concern, but as you can see, we have the situation well under control." The silence from the Federation ships spoke volumes. In one battle, humanity had proved they were far more advanced than anyone had guessed. The game had changed, and the galaxy would never be the same. Ambassador He Jun-baek walked into the Galactic Council's Grand Chamber on their central space station. The massive room was filled with representatives from 1,000 worlds. Today, all eyes were on the human delegate. 1 week had passed since the Battlestar revealed itself. News had spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. Every species wanted to know how humans had developed such advanced technology in secret. "The Council recognizes Earth's ambassador," announced the Council leader, a tall being with crystalline skin. He Jun bowed respectfully. Behind him, Strategic Officer Min Seo Lee stood ready with data about the Battlestar's capabilities. They had decided to be open about their achievement, but careful about sharing too many details. "Honorable Council," He Jun began, "we understand you have questions about our new ship. Earth is ready to answer them." The chamber erupted with voices. The Trade Federation representatives spoke first, their translator making their angry words clear. "This vessel violates multiple council regulations," they said. "Its size alone breaks 3 different treaties." He Jun smiled politely. "Treaties that Earth never signed. We were not part of the council when those rules were made." More voices joined the debate. Some species were angry, others impressed. Many were simply afraid of what humans might do with such powerful technology. Min Seo stepped forward, activating a hologram of the Battlestar. "The Dawn represents human innovation, not human aggression. We built it to protect Earth, not to threaten others." "Yet you built it in secret," another council member said. "Why hide it if your intentions were peaceful?" "Would you have allowed us to build it if we had asked?" He Jun replied. The silence that followed proved his point. Throughout the chamber, representatives whispered among themselves. Several smaller species had already approached Earth privately, seeking alliances. They saw humans as potential protectors against larger, more aggressive empires. "Earth offers friendship to all peaceful species," He Jun continued. "We want to trade, to share knowledge, to learn from each other. The Dawn shows what humans can achieve. Imagine what we could accomplish together." The council debated for hours. Some wanted to punish Earth for breaking unwritten rules. Others saw opportunity in working with these surprising humans. Finally, the council leader spoke. Earth has demonstrated remarkable capabilities. This changes the balance of power in our galaxy. We must adapt. Hajun and Min-Seo exchanged glances. This was the best outcome they could hope for. Acceptance, even if reluctant. After the meeting, delegates from dozens of worlds approached them. Everyone wanted to discuss trade deals, technological exchanges, or military alliances. Earth had become one of the most important powers in the galaxy overnight. The small species are especially interested, Min-Seo noted as they walked to their ship. They see us as different from the old powers. We achieved so much so quickly, without conquering anyone. Hajun nodded. Humans have always been good at making friends. Now we can be good allies too. Their ship's communication system beeped. Back on Earth, more Battlestars were already under construction. The first had shown what humanity could do. Its sisters would ensure that humans remained strong among the stars. The galaxy is changing, Min-Seo said, looking out at the stars. And humanity helped change it. Hajun smiled. The future looked bright for Earth. They had proved themselves to the galaxy, and now they would help shape its future. Commander Soo-hyun Park stood on the observation deck of Battlestar Dawn, watching Earth rise over the lunar horizon. 6 months had passed since their ship first revealed itself to the galaxy. In that time, everything had changed. Below them, the lunar surface buzzed with activity. 3 more Battlestars were under construction, each incorporating improvements based on what they had learned from the Dawn. But these ships were being built openly, with delegations from friendly alien species observing and sometimes helping. Status report, Soo-hyun requested from the ship's computer. All systems operating at peak efficiency, the AI responded. The new shield modifications are performing 30% better than original specifications. The Dawn had proven itself in several more encounters since its first battle. Pirates and raiders now avoided human space entirely. The ship's reputation had grown with each successful mission, and other species had started copying human designs. A light flashed on the communication panel. Commander, his officer reported, the Galactic Council fleet has arrived for the joint exercises. Soo-hyun turned to see a dozen alien ships approaching. 6 months ago, these same ships might have been enemies. Now they were training partners. The Council had realized it was better to work with humans than against them. Welcome them to Earth space, he ordered. Prepare for demonstration maneuvers. The Dawn moved with grace despite its massive size. The alien officers watching from their ships were still amazed by how smoothly human technology worked. The ship's AI coordinated thousands of systems simultaneously, something their computers couldn't match. Engineering reports the new reactor design is ready for testing, his second officer reported. Dr. Shin says it will increase our power output by 50%. Humans hadn't stopped innovating. Every week brought new improvements, new ideas, new ways of doing things that the aliens had never considered. Earth's scientists worked freely now, sharing some advances while keeping others secret. A small transport ship approached the Dawn, carrying diplomatic representatives from 3 different species. They were coming to sign technology exchange agreements. Earth would share some of its advances in return for access to alien star maps and trade routes. It's hard to believe how much has changed, Soo-hyun's first officer commented. 6 months ago, they thought we were barely able to reach our own moon. Soo-hyun nodded. Humans have always been good at surprising people. We just needed the chance to show what we could do. The ship's long-range sensors detected more vessels entering the solar system. These were merchant ships, coming to trade with Earth. Human goods and technology had become highly valued across the galaxy. Begin docking procedures for our visitors, Soo-hyun ordered, and prepare the presentation about our new medical facilities. The Dawn wasn't just a warship. Its massive size allowed it to serve as a hospital, research center, and diplomatic hub. It represented the best of human innovation, powerful when needed, but also able to help and heal. Later that day, Soo-hyun wrote in his personal log, "Earth has found its place among the stars. We didn't do it through conquest or fear, but through innovation and determination. The aliens were stunned by our Battlestar, but they've been more impressed by how we've used it. We've shown them that humanity can be both powerful and wise." As he finished writing, a new message arrived. Another group of alien species wanted to form an alliance with Earth. The galaxy was changing, and humanity was helping to guide that change. The future would be interesting indeed. The Dawn continued its patrol of Earth space, a symbol of human achievement and a promise of greater things to come. The stars had never seemed brighter.